Okay. So, I'm actually enjoying this game quite a bit, although it's like, but then it's a familiar feeling because I've played Nancy Drew games. When you're first playing a Nancy Drew game, you get across this feeling, and you get used to this feeling that, like, you know what you're supposed to do, you just don't know how to do it. And, so it's cool. Absolutely cool. You do not see anything in the background. Let me get my headphones. Let's start this up. So I'm going to be doing this for 3 hours. Unfortunately, I lied. I'm not going to be able to do a long stream because I didn't realize that I had to watch the movie Vertigo, and that's going to take up my time. So it's not class viewing either. So we actually have to watch it outside of class, which is always great. Should have watched it over the weekend. Awesome. What I do like, though, is that I can just move my cursor instead of having to hit the window. So let's see who's here for right now. Just me. We will wait till 45, I think. See if anyone comes in. Ah! I wasn't trying to start now. I was actually waiting. You know what, nah. Let's just start now. Give the fans something to watch. Not that I have any fans. I have no fans. I have viewers and friends. That's it. What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Load game. Oh, this is autosave. Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait. I wasn't there. Yeah, this game makes me think of Nancy Drew, but I still prefer Nancy Drew over this.
Professor Lucien?
Lucien.
Yes?
Do you have any idea why the door was locked?
I don't know. Maybe the constant vibrations caused the lock to lock itself.
Really?
You can't possibly believe that.
I'm with him,
Then
Zelnavor.
what's your theory?
The conductor could have locked it from the outside. On the other hand, it could have been someone here in the compartment who locked the door from the inside.
Who? And where have they gone?
They could have climbed out there.
Who would be that insane?
You tell me, Professor. So, what are you hiding in your bag? What do you have that would be worth stealing?
No, nothing.
Really?
No valuables?
Certainly not. Not on my salary.
It was enough for a first-class compartment on a luxury train.
Point.
That's my business.
You're playing a dangerous game, Professor Lucien. Oh, nothing.
Well, good.
Is there anything else?
Assuming there really was someone in the compartment, and he climbed out the window, where's he gone?
That's a good point, and he can't hang outside the train either. So anyway, just in case for people who don't understand what's going on. So there has been a burglary. But that's not what he is investigating. He is just a police officer who's just making sure things are going well on the train. He's a Swedish police officer, even. And he's actually a very interesting character, this Zelnor. He's middle-aged. He has... Hey, Val! I think you've heard of this game before. What is he doing with his feet? Zelnor, stop! Stop, Zelnor! Stop! My man! Stop! What is he doing? What is he doing? Stop! But anyway. So, Val, have you ever played this game? It's actually pretty interesting. It makes me feel like Nancy Drew, but I still prefer Nancy Drew. I have not yet found a game that has replaced my love for Nancy Drew. Nancy will always win. Was there something down here that I could investigate? I know there's the window. Okay. Give me that hint. I knew it. There's something down here. There's something over here, because I saw it. So far, I'm having fun, actually. Dude, you should know me in trains. There's something about solving a mystery on a gosh darn train. But yeah, so, the beginning of the story, because you missed it, started with someone who called themselves the Raven's heir. So apparently there was a thief called the Raven and was probably taken out, and then we have someone called the Raven's heir. And the Eye of the Sphinx, which is one of, I think, two gems. One was stolen from the British Museum recently. And, but that's not what Zelnor is doing on the train. Zelnor is supposed to be actually, like, keeping track of what's going on the train, but he also wants to press the, I guess, what is this guy? Inspector? I don't know what he is. But, we have this French guy who is, like, trying to create a trap for the Raven's thief. There it is! I could not see it. It is so freaking tiny.
What's this?
What do you have there?
It's a button. From a suit or a uniform, I guess.
The burglar might have lost it.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
What we got in our notebook.
If I notice anyone with a missing button on his jacket, I'll ask him about it. But I wouldn't get my hopes up. If there was a burglar, he climbed out the window and jumped off the train.
How did he jump off a train, though? But, yeah, okay, so that's what I was looking for. I think that's everything. And I don't think you have to write notes at all, Val. Ooh, is it interesting? Is it a mystery? Is it an adventure? Is it styled like this? But yeah, you don't have to put notes down because, like, all the notes are in here. Which is very nice, by the way. Can't believe that lady looks like that. Ooh. Because I decided when it comes to more games, because I do want to be exposed more to games, but I definitely like single players more than multiplayer. Because the one difficulty of multiplayer is finding people who want to play with you. But yeah. Yes, he is an inspector. I was right. Nicolas Legrand. French guy. Missing persons game. That's still a mystery, dude. It's still a mystery. It doesn't stop being a mystery. Oh, it's not a mystery because somebody's missing. Nah. Nah. He's too much missing. Is there anything else I need to talk about?
Professor Lucien?
Yes?
Godspeed, Professor Lucien.
Thanks.
Okay, I think that was it. There really was nothing else I could see in there.
The good professor is hiding something. It would be good if I could find out more about him.
I dropped some frames and I am not happy. Well, first we also need to see if we can get the purse. This guy might have stolen a purse. Let's see if we can talk to him.
Excuse me, sir. About the purse.
Ah, yes? Has it been found?
Someone saw you with your violin case on the platform in Zurich.
What's the meaning of this? I didn't steal anything.
Ooh, that's
Nobody
interesting.
said you did. I just wanted to ask you whether you might have noticed anything on the platform.
Ah, well,
Confess.
Why did you think I was accusing you?
well, I thought because you mentioned my violin case in the context of the purse.
Apropos, may I have a look at your violin? It must be a very extraordinary piece.
He's gonna say no.
Oh, that's not possible. It's a genuine Guarnetti.
Very valuable.
Very, and also very sensitive.
It's not that
Could
sensitive,
harm it
man.
here? Light? Air? May I ask you to open the violin case?
No, you may not. I'm not guilty of anything.
I'm afraid I have to insist.
Then I'm afraid you need a warrant. I will not stand back and let you.
Oh, and this game's taking place in the 1960s.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Okay, Matt, I need your help, my dude. Child, I need your help.
All right, Matt. Tell me now. The violinist won't let me check his violin case.
Of course he won't. He's hiding something. Try to distract him, then you can have a look at his case.
What do you suggest?
I could tell him there's a suitcase full of money in the next carriage. If he's a thief, he'll definitely want to take a look at it.
I don't think he'll fall for that.
Or I can insult him and then run away. He'll try to catch me, and you'll have a chance to look in that violin.
That would work.
Now that I think about it, this is something I have to attend to on my own.
Gosh darn it.
It would be expecting a bit much from a little boy.
Little boy, you must be kidding.
Sorry, Sheriff, but your idea about distracting him is good all the same. So long.
So longer.
I think I know exactly what I'm going to do. So far we have...
What are you doing? Didn't I make myself clear? The window stays closed.
You're not alone on this train. I want the window open.
Swiss politeness doesn't seem to be what it used to be. I'm not going to catch a cold because of you. Go somewhere else if you don't like it.
Cool.
I've no idea what I'd say to Matt.
I gotta check his violin case. I just need him to...
That makes no sense. The violinist would close the window immediately, and I wouldn't have enough time to search his violin case.
Sir...
The Baroness seems to have, I better not bother her.
Okay. So what can I do to the violinist so I can check through his case? But yeah, that sounds pretty cool. started, I did think the window would do it. I need something that would take longer. No! This is for his heart! No, Val! 9! Val's trying to kill people. Val, you naughty, naughty person. You naughty Val. Okay, I do need to figure out a way.
Pardon me, sir.
We could have used you a few minutes ago.
Where have you been? Where has he been?
There are thousands of things, but nothing.
Okay, I think I talked to her.
Mrs. Miller?
Oh, that's just mean.
Yes?
Thank you for your hairpin, Mrs. Miller. It really got me out of a jam.
Oh, really? That's good to hear. And thank you for bringing it back to me. Not everybody would have.
I'm a
I didn't
Swiss
even think I
policeman.
could have.
I couldn't do otherwise even if I tried.
I'm Swiss, my dear.
Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
She's the mother of the kid. But seriously, where has been that steward all this
I'd
time?
better let him read his newspaper if I don't have any pressing questions.
Zellner? I don't know how Zellner is gonna seduce. Probably, I would consider heterosexual male. And then Zellner is middle-aged too. It's just everything's against him. He's not considered to be sexy enough for that man. I wish I could use the Jedi man trick. Oh man, you don't even know what I had to do to get this that room that I was in the beginning. Like, I had to, like, do some Nancy Drew magic to even... Wow. Wait, he's gone? He's gone. Hey, CJ! I'm playing the Raven. It's a pretty darn interesting game. Well, unless you're talking about Poirot.
Inspector Legrand?
Anything to report?
I got Professor Lucien into his compartment using a pair of pliers.
Did you notice anything inside the compartment?
Everything.
The window was open. Someone could have climbed out.
Or climbed in.
And the professor?
Acted suspiciously. He rummaged around in his leather bag.
And?
He seemed to have found what he was searching for.
Good. Good work.
Wait! Why
Now,
would you
perhaps
see it like
you
that
could
way,
give me
Legrand?
some information.
All right. We should... What? The light's gone out. Flashlights! Ah! Get off me!
There, sir. An envelope.
Excuse me. Zellner's look.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box. R.
What the dickens?
It's been stolen.
It's a...
Away with it! Take cover!
Destroy everybody's luggage! Destroy everybody's luggage! What just happened? Oh heck no, we aren't doing nothing with the gold egg. Screw that noise. That angered me. That was pain, Val.
Oh, is everyone all right? Are you hurt?
Yeah. Duh.
Quick thinking. Well done, Zellner.
I think the tunnel collapsed.
Then he's trapped. Hurry, we have to lock the second exit.
Sir, there's a fire up ahead. The engine's burning.
Ah, crap.
It's a distraction. Hurry, block the exit.
But sir...
The fire will consume all the oxygen.
He's right, Inspector. A fire in a narrow tunnel is extremely dangerous.
Merde. Go to the front of the train, find the engineer, and tell him to move the train out of the tunnel.
While it's on fire.
Are you ready?
What am I
You
doing?
have to uncouple the freight car. You understand?
I understand.
With what?
I'll see to the passengers. They should all wait in the tunnel. We'll check each one in turn as they go out.
Let's get to it.
You said the freight car, so I need to uncouple it.
I'm sure I could uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing.
Okay, wait. Maybe there's a flashlight? I think there's a flashlight inside that one compartment. Magnum?
Whiskey, scotch, rum, liqueurs. Enough to entertain everyone on the train all the way from Paris to Istanbul. Champagne, the finest. Maybe we'll open a bottle if we get out of the tunnel alive. Until then, though, it's no use to me.
Crap baskets.
A lot was damaged by the sudden stop, but the bowl was thick enough to survive the fall.
Oh, yeah. Totally take a bottle of alcohol.
High-proof rum. Could be useful. Rum from Austria. Believe it or not, it's 80% alcohol by volume. There's no way anyone would drink it straight.
I can use it. Oh, I can set it on fire.
My God, what a fire. I hope Constable Oliver can at least reach the engine.
I have to use this with something. Looks like I might need to, 'Cause I need to find a light, gosh darn it.
Oh, pardon me.
You have a
I
match!
did not mean to scare you.
Give me the match.
What are you doing here, Doctor?
Legrand asked me to check whether there are any passengers left on the train.
Really? No one is here, except for me and you.
Excellent. Then I will continue searching at the front.
Did anyone act suspiciously before the explosion? Did anyone leave their seat, for example?
I was the only one on the train who wasn't seated when the freight car exploded. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have been caught by the blast as well.
You certainly were lucky.
Perhaps I was. What happened over there? The inspector said something about gas canisters that exploded.
If Inspector Legrand says so, it must be so, right?
I have been to war, and this was no minor explosion. I rather
World War
doubt
II?
that the freight car was packed to the roof with gas canisters.
The investigations are ongoing, but first we have to get the burning train out of the tunnel.
Of course.
How are the passengers?
They are in a state of shock, of course. The blackout and the sudden stop were frightening enough, but then the explosion, the dust. Everyone rushed for the exits. I was helping the American woman bring Lady Westmacott to safety. They are waiting outside in the tunnel. One entrance is blocked by a fire, and the other one seems to have collapsed.
Continue to search the train. I'll decouple the buried freight car.
All right.
No, wait,
Doctor, can you give me a few matches?
Thank you!
Oh, certainly.
Thanks. I'll meet you outside.
Do hurry.
Okay, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Wait, what was that?
The chair either fell over thanks to the sudden stop, or an escaping passenger knocked it over. Wanting to get off the train as quickly as possible after a sudden stop and a massive tremor, that's understandable. It's not bothering me, I'll leave it there.
It's bothering me! Do something about it! The curtain. Okay, hopefully this is enough. But what about the purse?
That should do it.
And then I
Can't
can...
really say the fabric was eager to soak up the rum. I, on the other hand, soaked up enough in my fingers to smell like a drunk.
Yes, you do. And then we're going to use the light from the curtain to be able to uncouple the cars.
There's a noticeable draft here. Maybe it's because of the fire, or perhaps there's still a hole through which the air is coming. The latter will be quite welcome. It will buy us some more time. Okay, I'll smear some grease on the curtain.
Can I use it now? What? Let me do it! Yatava.
I can feel cold metal and a screw thread. And a lot of grease.
Oh, thank you,
But
Mo.
I can't do more without light.
Crap, I have to search back through the train, don't I?
The tunnel may very well have collapsed. It's difficult to see much because of the darkness and dust. But something certainly crushed the rear of the freight car. The inspector's trap failed. The thief must have got wind of it. Worse than that, he turned the tables. To win a game of cat and mouse, you have to know who is the cat and who is the mouse.
Point. Okay, I gotta see if I can find anything else. Anyway, am I still not looking for the missing purse? I'm not looking for the missing purse? Dang. Dang, I failed. I shouldn't have come back. I should not have come into the back.
I should concentrate on uncoupling.
Okay, so then everything is up here. So why the heck can I... What am I doing wrong? Wait, what's over here?
I don't see Legrand or the constable, but I can make out the silhouettes of some of the passengers. They seem to be unscathed. All the same, the fire is getting bigger, and I don't have much time.
What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
Carling Black Label, a British beer. No good. Insufficient alcohol content. For practical purposes, I mean, not for drinking.
I have matches and I can't use them. Oh wait, what?
Just as I expected, the alcohol burns with an almost invisible flame. Even if I could set the fabric alight, how would I carry the fire? The temperature at the tip of the flames from the alcohol should be high enough to set fire to the oil and grease on the curtain, and thus the curtain as well. But if it works, I better not be holding it in my bare hands.
What? What? My dude! Why are you making this harder? Okay. So, we did that. He's making my life harder. Okay, let's do this. Search. Is there anything? Look out the window.
The other passengers escaped from the train. I can see their silhouettes in the light of the fire. If I don't hurry up and uncouple the freight car, they'll suffocate.
Okay, so how do I hold this?
The flame is hot, but it's no use as a light source. The temperature at the tip of the flames, but if...
Maybe the chair?
The chair either fell... Warning...
Do that again. Right here. One more time. So right here, and right here.
The fire is sucking here in the L.
I don't know what to do. Everyone's dying. Examine the extinguisher.
I noticed the extinguisher earlier. Doesn't match the decor. I suppose that the railway company had to comply with safety regulations at the cost of aesthetics. It'd be useless against the fire out there, and it's too cumbersome to carry around. At best, I can use it here.
Oh. What do I do? The chair. Use the fire extinguisher on what though?
Must be good for something.
There has to be something else. And he says too cumbersome to take around, so I have to bring something in here. But... Oh! There we go! Goodness! There we go.
All right, let's go.
So we make a torch. I'm smart.
I'm the god of fire.
No, Zelner. Prometheus.
That's better now. Incredibly basic mechanism. The kind that lasts forever. A lever on a pressure sleeve running along a thread. Aha! I can uncouple it with this lever. Okay. Good. The coupling isn't under tension anymore. I should be able to uncouple it now. There we go. Time to get out of here.
Yay! I did it! I finally figured it out. It took forever. Who was that?
Listen, everybody. Listen. Robert, what's the situation?
Yeah, I couldn't find the engineer, so I got in the driver's cab myself and released the brake.
All right. Good job. You too. Listen, please.
Matty! Where's Matt? Where's my son?
Relax, madame. I'm sure.
Help!
Oh, shoot.
Matty! No!
Go on, middle-aged man! You can do this! We're on a runaway train. Well, why did the child not get off the train?
Matt, where are you? Oh.
Are you kidding me? This child.
Matt, are you there? Nothing.
I can't believe he caught up to the train.
I suppose this handbag belongs to Miss Miller, Matt's mother. Lady Westmacott's bag is probably smaller and more expensive. Aha. Hey, there you are. What were you thinking? Come out of there.
Is he gone?
Is who gone?
The man.
What man?
There was a man. He was coughing.
One of the passengers?
I think he came down from the roof.
What are you doing on the train anyway? Why didn't you wait in the tunnel with the other passengers?
Right.
I wanted to get my pistol.
Seriously,
Your
kid?
pistol?
There's so many cops and thieves and explosions and everything, then I need a pistol too.
Makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
First, I'll stop the train, and then we'll have a chat, okay?
Like,
You want to come out? Good idea. You stay put.
is a brat. I want my pistol! Child, it's not worth your life.
My situation isn't that desperate. The tanks don't seem to be damaged. The water is still running.
Is that really it?
A large, soft towel, very comfortable. I'll wrap it around my neck to keep my hands free. What have you got yourself into? Couldn't you have just let it be? But no, of course not. And now you're here, on an out-of-control train in the Alps, responsible for the life of a child who'll be doomed without you. What are you waiting for, eh? Time to save the day.
He is a hero cop. Alright, turned on the tab. Okay, let's go outside. He turns around funny. Okay, who's still here? Oh, hey Shroomy! And hey CJ, Val left me. Like always. Actually, I do want to look in here.
I can't get in. I presume the Baroness's luggage toppled over and is blocking the door.
Gosh darn it. Thank you. Taking the axe.
An axe is for emergencies. If this isn't an emergency, I don't know what is.
Right? We don't have time to look out the window, I don't think.
Damn. That makes things extremely complicated.
So the
How can I stop the train?
So that means we're gonna have to... Goodness. Zellner, what have you gotten yourself
Hardly
into?
see out of the window because of the smoke. I don't know how much coal is burning on the tender up there, but it must be tons. I can't do anything about the fire.
Alright.
If the emergency brake doesn't work, I'll have to try something else. Here goes. Ouch! Hot! Locked. This door leads to the... I suppose...
What happened to the axe?
Okay, we'll do it the hard way. handle is already too hot to touch. If I go outside with a towel around my head, it'll catch fire due to all the sparks flying around. I don't want to risk what little hair I have left.
Okay, so this is why the sink was on. Alright. Okay. Alright, okay. Seriously, can't go through the drawers.
It's soaking up the cold water.
I'm a good detective, I swear. Zellner, we can do this.
It looks just like the one on the freight car. That means at first I have to turn that thing there. That keeps it under tension. It's not working. Even if I could reach the lever with my hands, I wouldn't have the strength to move it.
I'm smart!
That should do the trick. The coupling won't release because it's under too much tension. The engine is pulling the car. It's just a hook, but...
Did it work? Did I slow down the train?
That's not just smoke. I can actually taste lumps of ash. It's time for my deputy sheriff's story. I uncoupled the locomotive at full speed. Not bad, eh?
Do you think we'll get in trouble?
Because of the locomotive? I don't think so. It was pretty old already. Come out so we can have a chat.
Is this train still
Check the
moving?
entire train. There's no one on it except for us. What an adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, what did you see on the train?
Well, it was like this. I wanted to get my pistol. Achoo!
And then?
When the guy was gone, I got up and banged on the window. I wanted to get out of there. But then I thought, what if the guy can hear me from the next car? So I got scared, and I hid again.
You did well. Are you sure it was a man?
Yeah, very sure. What else could he be?
An elephant.
A woman?
No. Girls can't be thieves. Girls are always honest.
Oh, you poor, poor child.
If only you knew.
You poor, poor, poor
Did
child.
you recognize the man? Have you met
Girls
him
are
before?
always honest.
I don't
Oh,
think
you
so.
poor child. Let
Would
me
you
let
recognize
me
him if you
comfort
saw
you.
him again?
No. It was very dark, and I was hiding.
Was he a tall man or a short man?
Just a man. I think he was a bad man.
Why do you think that?
He was sneaking around, even though everybody else was outside in the tunnel.
Maybe he just wanted to get his wooden pistol.
Oh, man.
The envelope that the man lost, where is it?
I thought it might be important.
I think we should have a look. Some cash. An Italian passport. Blank. Very interesting. And here, a ticket for
For the cruise!
what?
The tickets we have for the big ship from Venice to Cairo look exactly the same.
Hey, Mo!
Interesting.
How you doing?
May I keep it?
I'm on an adventure.
Take
We're
a
trying to
vacation.
catch a thief, a very dangerous thief. He nearly killed everyone on a train. Don't know what he was up to.
It's evidence.
And my chance to go with you.
The ticket and everything else in the envelope are part of my investigation. And you have no part
So
to
we
play
just
in
finished the
Cairo.
first chapter. There's only 3 chapters.
If I hadn't given you the envelope, you'd have no proof that the Raven's heir would be on the ship.
Ugh. The ship is his next chance to steal the eye. And he won't give up until he has it.
And that's precisely why you should let me come along.
No.
What else did you find out in the tunnel?
Not much. After we came out of the tunnel, Robert and I questioned the passengers.
Which didn't turn up anything new.
No, the engineer and the fireman were missing. They were found a few kilometers back on the track. Both claimed to have been overwhelmed by a shadow and thrown off the train.
But you don't believe that.
I'm checking their stories. One of them may have been paid to eliminate the other one.
How could the Raven's heir have found out about the trap? How was he able
Somebody's
to
a
put the
traitor.
dynamite in the box and place the letter?
The dynamite was probably already in the box when I put it in the safe. I didn't check it.
You had no reason to do so.
Yes, he
It
did.
wasn't my only mistake. I knew someone was on the roof of the freight car, but I let myself be distracted by that damned letter.
How did you know?
Too late. I should have reacted instantly.
And what about the ship? I have earned the right to join you.
He
What
did.
you did was extraordinary. Far
Okay,
more than
cool,
anyone
Mo.
could have a right
Got
to
home from
expect
work,
from you.
and you get
And you
to
still
listen
want
to
to
this
leave me
tale.
behind.
I'm only
You
gonna be
met
streaming
our
for
fall
3
and
hours,
barely
then
escaped
getting
with your
food
life.
and stuff, because I have
You may
to
not be that lucky
watch a
next time.
movie for
It
class.
wasn't luck.
You can return to Switzerland with your head held high. Enjoy your
Dude,
triumph.
do you have to be such
I
a
have not
douche?
achieved anything yet.
He saved a
The
child, he
fiend
stopped
tried
the
to kill
train.
us, and he's still at large.
Come on, Zelnor's awesome. So, have you ever heard of the Raven, Mo?
We're here.
Yep. I got the first chapter done, which actually isn't really long, if you think about it. I have to watch Vertigo for class. No, it's naughty. I skipped class for today. I only had one class today.
An urgent telegram from Paris.
Bad news?
It's about the unfortunate events on the train, and to return to Paris and explain myself.
But sir, what about the eye?
They want to inform the Egyptian authorities that there might be a burglary attempt.
Might?
Egyptian authorities? What if the jewel is stolen at sea?
I know. I never received it. Keep a close watch on the loading of the eye, Robert.
Aye, sir.
Why would you litter?
Pleasure meeting you, Constable Zelda.
No, not... That's what the game is called, Mo.
I hope you're aware of the fact that you're risking your career.
It's typical of any action
Why do you
movie.
care so much about this case? Someone pretends to be the Raven, and you promptly risk your career?
What if he's not just pretending?
What do you mean by that?
It's his handwriting. And there's only one person who ever called me Nico. Have you ever considered the possibility that I shot the wrong man?
Did you?
But what do you mean by that?
Let us assume just for a moment that the person I shot and who fell from the roof was not the Raven. Who would have cared enough to uncover the truth? The chief of police, the politicians? No, they wanted to revel in a successful manhunt. And it was the best thing that could have happened to the Raven. The search for him was over. He had no reason to fear me anymore. I had so many medals afterwards that he could hear them jingling kilometers away.
And now he's back? And you're the only one who can stop him? Does that sound probable to you?
The feathers, the letters. Nico. No one outside the police force knew that the Raven used to call me that in his letters.
Policemen gossip, and there are plenty of forgers. You can't seriously intend to
I
stake
agree with
your
Zoller on
reputation
this.
on such weak
You don't have
evidence.
any proof.
My reputation rests on something that I probably did not do. I have to find out who's behind all this.
Why does Constable Oliver have a problem with me?
I think he's jealous. Scotland Yard assigned him to assist me, just as you were sent by the Swiss authorities.
With the distinction that he may go to Egypt.
Robert is to accompany me at all times. Your mission was restricted to Switzerland.
At this moment, I want to be sent back to Switzerland just as much as you want to be sent back to Paris.
I know, but I'm walking on thin ice, and I can't carry you too.
Screw you. Screw you. Okay? Zelnor did great. All you did was sit in the back of the train, waiting for your trap to snap. Zeldor was actually talking to people and keeping an eye on things, because if you were paying attention, you'd understand some weird things were going on. So
And the
screw
second
you,
eye is in
Legrand.
that safe?
Yes, an emerald. It's been kept in a bank in Zurich since the start of the war. I personally took it out of the bank vault, and Professor Lucien certified that it was the real thing.
And while a fake jewel was sent by train,
The real one was brought here in an armored car.
how is it protected?
You can only open the safe if you have 3 special keys.
Should have had
Professor
100.
Lucien has one, and Baroness von Trebitz, who's paying for all this, has the second. The third was sent by air courier to Dr. Abbas Mokhtar, the director of the Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
So, not even you could possibly open the safe before it arrives in Egypt.
That's correct. We don't want to make it too easy for potential thieves.
Commendable. Let's review. One of the 2 most valuable jewels in the world was stolen. Obviously, the second one will be next. And you suspect a legendary burglar who's been dead for 5 years.
Go on.
The second jewel is about to be put on board over there, in a safe that requires 3 keys.
You know,
Our
here's
thief may
my
already
thing.
have the first key, the archaeologist's key from the train. We don't know anything about the status of the second key, which was meant to be air freighted to Cairo.
We have to assume that he already has it.
Therefore, there's just one key left. The Baroness's.
Correct.
So, you'll need my eyes on board.
Look, you can keep your eyes open for me here on the wharf. I'd be most grateful. But when this ship sets sail, you will not, I repeat, not be on board.
But, Inspector,
We're dealing with a dangerous man, and I will pursue him regardless of the consequences. I won't let you get mixed up in this affair.
it's
Watson
still
can
my
do it,
decision.
Sherlock!
No, it's
Watson
not.
can
It's
do it.
mine.
You don't tell
I've
what
already
Watson
made
what to
it.
do.
Good day, Constable Zellner.
You don't tell Watson what to do. Who is he telling Watson what to do? So we need to find the Baroness. We might need to even take the key from her. But here's my thing. Why? Why?
Constable Oliver seems to be a little simplistic. But I don't think he's a bad policeman. The way he reacted in the tunnel and got the train moving. Hats off. Fine car, but nothing compared to the young lady who owns it.
Oh, come on, dude. No.
Amazing how much luggage there is for so few passengers. And I'd guess that 3/4 of it belongs to the women. Who could she be? An actress? A millionaire's daughter? She's certainly attracting a lot of attention. I'll take an inconspicuous look up close.
See, this is where smoking would totally work.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting anyone to be crawling around on the ground in front of my door.
Don't worry about it, miss. No harm done.
That's good to hear, Mr.
Zellner. Anton
I said, I want to say
Zellner.
Nor, Zellner. Dang, she's tall, especially in those heels.
May I ask your name?
Patricia Mayers.
Are you American?
I am. Could you help me, please?
Certainly.
Gives us an excuse to go onto the boat.
Are you on your way to Egypt?
Yes.
Are you on holiday?
My father works for a railroad company there.
And is rebuilding the country after the war.
I'm suspicious of
Wonderful.
everyone, I have been
Yes.
taught.
Wonderful.
Well, dang, lady, I feel adored.
One more.
You're lucky to have a father who takes you to so many interesting places.
In a million faces.
Aren't you interested in Egypt? The pyramids, the history.
I would have been more interested in a father who doesn't travel 300 days a year.
I'm sure your father regrets that he can't always be with you.
No doubt. And I'm sure he always wanted the best for me. But that doesn't stop him from thinking only about himself far too often.
Okay, yes, tell me more about your daddy problems. What?
Bring my luggage on board, please.
What?
Excuse me?
It was a pleasure meeting you, Constable Zellner.
Impertinent.
Brat. She's such a brat.
Is the doctor afraid to board the ship? The captain greets each of the passengers as though they were old friends.
Yeah, we should totally leave the luggage there.
Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
Ah, the hero of the hour.
Have you already met the captain?
Mario Di Conti. Heard of him?
Should I have?
He is something of a star in Italy. A war hero. In the First World War, when he was a young man, he sank more enemy ships than anyone else. In the Second World War, well, he had some personal problems.
You mean like the ones you buy in bottles and pillboxes?
Yeah, you could say that. Anyway, sending him into combat was out of the question. They gave him a supply ship instead, and he became a hero again. His ship, part of a convoy from Palermo to North Africa, was the only one that made it, with an extra 100 seamen who he rescued.
That's
from
impressive.
the other ships.
Impressive.
To say his health is rather shaky these days would be an understatement. I think most of my time on board will be spent dealing with his numerous ailments.
Is your new job bothering you?
On the contrary, I wasn't
It sounds
sure whether I made the
exactly
right
like
decision
you're
until now.
bothered by your
I'm
job.
from the Black Forest, you know. There are only mountains there, no ships. But now, the salty breeze, the atmosphere, I think I want to stay at sea forever.
Wait till you're on the ship, my dude.
The sea is one thing, the passengers are another.
That is true. The passengers are
It will
no
be
problem.
okay.
What do you know about the Baroness?
Tell me about the Baroness.
Nothing really.
Did you talk to her in the tunnel?
Is
No,
she one of your
her
French
butler was looking
girls?
after her,
Really?
and I was busy with Miss Miller. As you can imagine, it was a shock for her to see her son rolling away on a burning train.
That's understandable.
So, we were all glad when we heard about your brave deed.
Well, there's nothing left for me to do but to wish you a good trip.
Oh, you are not coming with us?
Unfortunately, no. I'm to go back to Zurich.
What a pity.
Take care, Dr. Gebhardt. At least there'll be music.
Oh, I just remembered. We found these in the tunnel. Are they yours?
I'm afraid so.
Strophantine. Do you have heart problems?
Totally missing out on the
Maybe
conversation.
it's for the best that you're not coming along. Too much excitement could be bad for your health.
You mean if I don't do
Excuse
anything,
you.
I'll probably have a few more years to live?
That's right. Keep your chin up.
Bah! What does he know?
James? James! Where on earth are you?
Hello, Baroness.
Ah, Inspector.
Constable.
Poppycock. You won't be a constable much longer. When they find out how you rescued that little boy, they'll have to promote you to Inspector.
Very kind of you to say so, Baroness. Did you know that the real Eye of the Sphinx wasn't even on the train?
I had no idea. Inspector Legrand seems to prefer to keep me
Well, the
in
less you
dark,
know, the better.
although I'm the one paying for all of this.
The inspector is ensuring the safety of the Eye.
Well, obviously. All the same, it was you who did the real work on the train.
hope you survived the adventure in the tunnel unharmed.
Scandalous! You book a first-class cabin, and then you're walking on the rails. Huh. They wanted to bundle me off in a bus without my luggage.
Well, your
The
luggage is pretty much
circumstances,
gone.
madam.
I insisted on a limousine and didn't leave until all my luggage was recovered.
Anyway, who's still watching? Just CJ. And, oh, CJ and Mo. Woo! Yay! Oh, there's Shroomy. Shroomy! How are you, frenemy?
I hope that the remainder of your trip to Cairo will be less stressful.
You aren't coming with us?
I'm afraid Inspector Legrand doesn't want my company.
Well, that's a pity. In my opinion, another policeman guarding the eye certainly wouldn't hurt. On the other hand, you didn't manage to return my purse. But no offense.
I should have retrieved
Now,
her
where's my
purse.
damned
I
butler?
didn't know!
James, there you are. Is the inspector to carry my luggage onto the ship
Cool.
all by himself?
Well, actually... Baroness?
Baroness, can you hear me? She fainted.
No. No.
Baroness?
Again, harder.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Help me up.
Perhaps we should...
Now.
I'm afraid to help her
I've
up.
got Dr. Gebhardt.
No, Doctor. Just a little moment of weakness. Your arm, James. Take me to the ship.
But of course, madam.
That was no moment of weakness. She saw something that shocked her. Or someone. Very
Yes, she saw
interesting.
someone.
Especially since she doesn't want to admit it. Who or what did she see? Neither of them seems to have noticed what happened down here. You'll have a tough time with her. How does one get aboard without a ticket? Not brilliant, but it's a possibility.
Can he board the ship, though?
Oh, who do we have here? Signore...
This is Constable Anton Zellner.
Signore Zellner. I heard about your feats in the mountains. Welcome aboard the MS Lydia.
MS
Thank
Lydia.
you, Captain.
I didn't know you'd be taking part in the journey, but I'm glad to have you with us. I'll have a nice cabin prepared for you immediately.
The constable will not be joining us. He has other duties.
Oh, that's too bad. I would have loved to hear about his adventures from the man himself.
Right? Legrand is such a douche.
May I ask how to get to the cargo hold?
Oh, signori, there are much nicer places on board.
But I'm interested in the cargo.
But I'm interested in the cargo
Why is
hold.
One of the trunks seems suspicious to me. Someone could be hidden in it.
You... You want to imply that the most brilliant,
Yes.
and probably richest thief in all of Europe is stowing away in a trunk? That's not his style.
That's what makes it more likely that it's not him, but a copycat who's behind all this. And a copycat's style might include doing whatever it takes. Like hiding in a trunk if they've lost the ticket.
Oh, come now.
Actually, it would be possible for a registered passenger to board the ship without a ticket.
What do you mean?
You can't buy a ticket for the Lydia at the counter. You book the trip in advance. We know the names of all the passengers. As long as a passenger is on the guest list, we let them board the ship.
Good to know.
Doesn't matter if they have a ticket or not.
And did any of the passengers board without a ticket?
I couldn't say. We ask for a name and check it on the list. The tickets are no more than souvenirs for the passengers.
That's a fail.
So much for your trunk theory.
Regardless of what you say, I would still like to examine the cargo hold.
All right then, if you like. But we'll meet here again in 10 minutes. Captain De Conti, before we depart, I'd like to send 2 telegrams.
Certainly, Inspector. The
I
cargo
cannot
hold is
stand
over there.
Legrand. He is
You
such
can
a
enter through
douche.
a door on the forecastle. The horn will
He knows his
sound twice,
style
5
and all
minutes
stuff. You
before
don't
we
even
set off.
know
That's the
what their
signal
style
for
of the
all
Raven
dock workers
is.
to leave the ship.
Understood, Captain.
Follow me to the bridge. You can send your telegrams from there.
My time is running out. If I don't find anything in the cargo hold, my cruise will be over before it even begins. Oh no.
Is there any way to... Ooh, search locker. It's pretty dark down here.
The door to this locker is ajar. Empty. The left 3 lockers are locked.
Interesting.
That's the young woman's cabriolet. Apparently they absolutely had to take it to Egypt. At Daddy's expense, of course. Oh, what's this? Aha.
What do I have? Oh, a flashlight.
I wouldn't be able to see all of the cargo hold without the flashlight. But even with the flashlight, it's rather creepy in here.
I found a flashlight. I found a flashlight. It's better than Nancy Drew because Nancy doesn't go with a darn flashlight. Where is the suspicious crate?
Hello? Come on out. The game's up. I'm opening the trunk.
Nothing in here.
Hello? I'm sure someone was in the trunk. But where are they
See,
now?
he was right. Somebody was in that chest. Because it would make more sense. for them to not stand out. If the guy's smart, he knows that there's a possibility that they're looking for him based on the fact that he won't have a ticket. Unless he already knows that they wouldn't be looking for that anyway. So he was right. Somebody was in there. How do I leave? How do I leave? Well, here comes this part. I don't even know how to get out of here. Oh, there we go. There's shards.
The
Interesting.
shards are... Phew. I startled too easily.
I have not. Oh no! What's going on, Shroomy? No! I've been gagged!
For who?
Okay. Someone did this on purpose. Are you... Zellner! Are you kidding me? He actually dropped the bloody knife. Thank God it's a saw. Wiggle! Wiggle, Zellner! Ah, shoot. Ah, poor Zellner.
Damned
Zellner. This is just not his day.
It will be best if no one found out about this.
Zellner. Well, now we can see everything.
There's some blood and hair stuck to the pipe. Hair I really can't afford to lose. I'll hold it on the blood-spattered end. After all, we already know who the victim is.
And Mo. Mo's here too, I think.
Detention cell for crew members? Or maybe for rowdy passengers?
It looks like a real jail cell. I would hate to be locked in here.
The cargo hold seems to be used as a changing room for the crew as well. Or at least the part of the crew that doesn't do their work in white suits.
That's why the person was hiding in the trunk, so they can pretend to be part of the crew. That's...
A chair is the last thing I need right now.
Please.
I was sitting long enough over there in the corner.
There's a crate with a bullet hole?
The shot hit this crate. The question is, was the gunman actually trying to hit it? And if so, why? Maybe the gunman just wanted to intimidate me. I can't imagine a more effective warning.
What is a mel? A mel? I don't know. Hold on, let me see. Okay, Mo's not here anymore, so it is just you and CJ at this point. I don't know what a mel is.
I can make out a corridor, but no details. The glass is too dirty, and there's no light in there.
But we were left on the ship for a purpose.
It's no use. The door seems to be locked from the other side.
Oh, I said Mo. Mo. Cool. Okay, I think this is everything that we can check out. I already examined that, so we're just gonna go upstairs. Legrand is not gonna be happy with us. Oh,
Whoever
wow.
locked the door is stronger than me.
So we're locked inside. Crap. Mo Kaji? And not a what, a who, Shroome. That's really it. So we're stuck in here. I wonder if we can use the pipe. Can we use the pipe? Let's see if we can use the pipe. We can!
I should be careful. The gunman may still be nearby.
What are you up to, Zelna?
The real question is, why are you threatening me with a gun?
Don't push your luck, Zelner. Why didn't you leave the ship as we agreed?
I was jumped in the cargo hold.
Of course you were.
Here, look. Careful how you hold it. There could be fingerprints on the end.
Surely you don't expect me to believe you.
I was inspecting the trunk. I found it in the cargo hold, and it was clear that someone had hidden inside it to board the ship.
Some people are willing to go to great lengths.
Why
to
are
be a
you
part of
not
this journey.
believing me?
Indeed. Whoever it was, they struck me on the head from behind with the pipe while I was looking for clues. Oh, and they shot at me as well.
Ridiculous. You wanted to come along. Orders be damned, and so you found a way to stay here. I should throw you overboard.
I would have dreamed up something less painful.
True. That doesn't look good.
See? And there's a bullet wedged in a wooden crate down there. I don't have a gun.
The doctor should have a look at it. Come with me.
But he's mad at me. Like, I've been locked downstairs, you douche. I'm actually suspicious of Legrand. There's something up with him.
Inspector Legrand and Constable Zelna.
It is definitely
So
better
you
than
have
Yvonne to the
decided
Sun.
to join us on our journey after all.
So it would seem. We are searching for Dr. Gebhardt.
I'm just fine, Captain Conti.
The Conti.
I'm in control. I can manage. Tell James he absolutely must wake me at 9:45.
Certainly, madam.
Can you not spell hard? Is it hard to
I
spell
shall
hard,
see that
Shroomy? Is it hard to spell hard?
I'll return to my chambers. You'll be in the bar tonight at 10, Inspector.
If that's what you wish.
It will be spectacular. I promise.
What are you trying to do? Hit on him?
The fresh sea air, and perhaps a glass of champagne to many. But I'm glad that you decided to join us on our journey to Cairo.
Not quite voluntarily.
So he says.
I was jumped from behind.
But no, that is...
Dr. Gebhardt should have a look at him, Captain De Conti.
Of course. Please, have a seat in the
What
saloon,
is your
Constable
issue?
Zelna. I'll summon the doctor.
Is it hard?
Ah, doctor, there you are. Our brave Constable Zelna was attacked.
Struck on the head.
Oh. Sit down, please.
Now, please, tell me exactly what happened.
That's a good question.
Why didn't anyone come looking for me? Didn't anyone notice that I didn't come back from the cargo hold?
We did search for you, but we couldn't find you.
He was on the
Who was
gush.
supposed to search the cargo hold?
Constable Oliver. I'll have a talk with him about that later.
I should hope so.
Is it bad?
Yes, it hurts a lot.
I spoke with Dr. Gebhardt.
He suffered a violent blow to the back of the head. I cannot really say how bad it is.
But I can. It really hurts. I think you've got a stowaway on board. I was jumped.
Intolerable. I'll have the crew search every nook and cranny of the ship. And of course, Mr. Zellner, you
We
are
can English, we
cordially
swear.
invited to travel as our special guest.
Can you? Can you show
Good to
me?
know that at least one man doesn't want to throw me overboard.
How many fingers do you see?
3.
3 fingers.
Okay.
Where are we?
I
And-
like
and
how it
what
gave you
time is it?
choice.
I must have been out for ages.
It's just after 8 p.m.
You just missed dinner.
Aw.
But we'll all meet here in the saloon at 10 o'clock to have a drink together.
I want
Greeting the
food.
passengers personally is a tradition I will not break, even on this unusual journey.
You're all right now, Constable. The bleeding has stopped and the wound looks good. You may have a mild concussion. You just need a good night's sleep. And tomorrow, your only worries will be a headache and an impressive bump.
Thanks.
That's a good enough reason to celebrate. Enough about crooks and thieves. From now on, you can start to enjoy your free cruise.
Thank you.
Inspector,
What?
a dark shadow. Upper deck, just now.
Go, let's have a look.
I'll join you.
Me too.
No, you stay here.
Do you want to make this an argument?
Right? What is his deal? I'm suspicious of him. Like, he's been like...
Robert, go to the Baroness and don't let her out of your sight.
I wouldn't trust
they're coming to
Robert.
the port side. Doctor, you go to starboard. I'll start at the forecastle and work my way back to the
Forecastle.
two of you. Understood?
But
Baroness von Trebitz. Hello? Baroness von Trebitz? Open the door.
Uh-oh. It's concerning. Wow, nothing showed up. Okay.
Dr. Gebhardt insisted on coming along, but now he doesn't seem to be sure if that was a good idea. The Baroness was 3 sheets to the wind. It may be a while before she comes to the door.
Okay.
All right, Doc. I'm off.
oh no, I'm not going on a manhunt all by myself.
I never trust a Robert. Right? Rob. He was actually there at the British Museum robbery.
Are you okay? Maybe you had better take a rest, in case the blow was more severe.
I'm okay.
Turner, up here.
Come on. I think it came from up there.
Sure, you just wanted to get a breath of fresh air. Zellner, look who we have here.
Well, if that's not our shadow.
And our stowaway.
Spent any time hiding in a trunk recently?
Me do nothing.
He claims to be part of the crew. Just wanted to get some fresh air.
Of course.
The Baroness won't open the door, sir.
Understood. Take him to the detention cell, Robert.
It's probably a distraction.
You were right. There was a stowaway.
Yes, but he can't be the Raven. He's too young.
Right, but that doesn't mean that the Raven isn't lurking here as well.
What was that?
A shot!
It came from one of the cabins.
Well, this is dramatic. Everything's happening.
Oh no! Baroness von Trebitz? Baroness! Open the door!
Break it.
Step aside, please.
We have a murder on our hands, gentlemen. Hurry, Zellner. The murderer still has to be nearby. There's practically no one on deck. Anyone who's outside is a suspect. This time, we'll get him. Zellner, are you okay?
Yes. Come on. We have to.
Oh god, he's having an heart attack.
Zellner! Merde!
This is why you shouldn't have thrown away your pills. He shouldn't have thrown away his pills. He threw away his pills, my friends. What a crazy man. How do you feel, everyone? But yeah, this one is definitely fun. Better than the Agatha Christie games. By the way, where the heck was her butler?
Ah, you awake? Sleep well, did you?
I didn't fall asleep voluntarily.
It doesn't matter. We got along just fine without you.
What is your deal?
I didn't pass out last night because of the blow to my head, did I?
Seems unlikely. Inspector Legrand thinks you were drugged.
But how? The champagne.
Who gave you the glass of champagne?
Captain DeConti.
Interesting.
It should be possible to find traces of the tranquilizer in the glass.
That is exactly what Legrand is trying to do.
Without a laboratory?
Oh, he's got a lab. His cabin is packed with all the latest forensic stuff. It's quite impressive what the inspector can do.
A competent man, no doubt. And surprisingly well prepared.
And diligent. He's been at it all night with his brushes and tinctures and glasses and everything. Working like a man possessed. I wouldn't want to be the Raven now.
Have you arrested anyone yet?
You mean besides the Arab?
He could hardly have committed the murder. You must have been with him when it happened.
We heard the shot on the forecastle. I locked our friend in the detention cell in the cargo hold.
But yes, Rob the movie 2, the robbery.
You were already sleeping the sleep of the just.
Any other suspects?
No. Seconds after the alarm went off, the decks were swarming with frightened passengers.
Yes. A clever way to stay incognito during the commotion.
But we still have our primary suspect, the Raven.
You really think he's returned?
Well, I think that no one knows as much about the Raven as Legrand.
But still, it all seems so incredible. What's the state of play? How was the Baroness killed?
The Baroness was shot in the chest at close range. We'll know more once the doc finishes examining the body in the medical centre.
And no one saw anything suspicious?
No one saw a shadowy raven leaving the Baroness's cabin, if that's what you mean. A lot of people heard the gunshot. Inspector Legrand wants to question the passengers again this morning, once they've all calmed down, and he's had a chance to examine the evidence.
I suppose that you and Legrand inspected the crime scene and the surroundings.
Of course. And we already hit the jackpot. The murder weapon.
Really? Where did you find it?
On the gangway. The gangway for boarding the ship folds up and hooks onto the hull when it's not being used. The murderer probably wanted to throw the gun into the sea. He casually dropped it overboard.
But it landed on the gangway.
Bad luck.
But Legrand and I were
This is
on
all
the
suspicious.
side deck
Hi,
right after
Joni!
the shot. There was no one there.
Maybe the murderer threw the gun away later. We recovered it in the early hours.
I think I'll look for Inspector Legrand now.
Do what you think's best.
You won't get rid of me. I'm here
Like,
to stay, Constable
I
Oliver.
mean, what are you gonna do? Toss him
Please don't
overboard?
hesitate. Inspector Legrand ordered me to guard the cargo hold with our special guest.
I don't trust
That's
either
fine
of
by
you.
me.
I don't trust
Inspector
anyone.
Legrand may be able to get by without sleep.
The only one I trust is Maddie, the precocious child.
It's not easy playing with the big boys, Constable Zellner.
No, it certainly isn't.
Playing with the big boys now. I'm playing with the big boys now.
The cabin was sealed. I'm pretty sure the seal doesn't have any legal relevance here on the open sea. But I'm still dependent on Legrand letting me join his team. I better not blow it by breaking his seal without permission.
Gosh darn it. Achoo! But how you doing, Joni? We have about one more hour. I want to go upstairs.
A model of the Lydia before it was rebuilt. It used to be a freighter.
Ooh.
Light hallways, the
So,
cabins,
Joni,
and
have you heard of the
saloon were
game
added
called The
later.
Raven? Basically, we're trying to catch a thief. Zellner here is trying to help, and to do that, he's trying to impress upon this inspector, French inspector named Legrand. Legrand's a douche, by the way. He's a huge douche, and I don't trust him.
A pitiful attempt to make the interior of the ship seem less dreary. A bit of paint on the walls would have helped more, especially since a plant won't survive long without daylight. There are little
Give me the
stones
give me the
in
stones.
flower pot. Not only does the poor plant have to make do without sunlight, it doesn't have any soil either.
Okay, you have about 20 more minutes.
Really? What am I supposed to do with
Just hold
stones?
on to them, my dude.
Although, sooner or later,
He's like questioning. Don't question, just take. Take, my dude. Okay, that's the medical center. Ooh, this is perfect.
An evacuation plan? And some tips from the doctor for avoiding seasickness, sunburn, and the like.
I need a map.
And here, a schedule of activities. A drink with the captain, a shuffleboard competition on the forecastle, and that's about it. A real barrel of fun.
Yes, it's a great barrel of fun, actually. Oh, this is Legrand. Yes.
That is Legrand's cabin.
Come in.
Found it.
Ah, Zellner. Are you ready?
Good morning, Inspector
What's going
Legrand.
on with my start stream?
My head is pounding, but I think I'm okay.
Chloral hydrate.
No.
Hmm?
That's why you had a headache.
No. My stream. What's going on with my
I found
stream?
traces of it in your champagne glass.
Take the love, take it. Yes. Okay, I might actually have to end the stream here because I am losing frames, my friends. And I don't know why. Stop it with the frame losing. Oh my god. I am losing so many frames. No. It is dropping bad. I don't know what the heck that was. That was bad. That was extremely bad. Whoa. Okay, so we'll do a compromise. I will end at 5 o'clock.
What have you found out so far?
The Baroness was shot in the chest at close range. We heard the shot. The murderer quickly fled the cabin and dropped
like
the
it's
murder
dependent
weapon
on-
over the railing later.
Yes,
A
CJ.
simple story so far.
I am being framed.
But
So we only have 30
why
more
was
minutes
her
then.
cabin door locked?
Exactly. If the murderer wanted to make it seem like a suicide, he'd have shot her in the head and left the gun at the crime scene.
And if it was murder, why did he go to all the trouble of locking the door from inside? And how did he manage that anyway?
Especially since we arrived just a few seconds later and didn't see anyone near the cabin.
Unless she was
Something
already
doesn't make
killed
sense here.
beforehand.
No, it doesn't, and it's driving me crazy.
Did you find the murder weapon?
On the gangway on the side of the ship. I suspect the murderer tried to drop it into the sea. He would have stood close to the railing to let it fall unseen.
Deframed
And
goodness.
since he doesn't know the ship, he had bad luck and dropped it right onto the gangway.
Indeed. And do you find that probable?
Not a bit.
Neither do I.
What kind of a gun is it?
A pistol, a Luger 08.
Antique.
Manufactured 1,000,000 times during and after the First World War. Austrian model.
The
The
way
owner
his
is
eyes
David
move
Kreutzer,
is so
the
creepy.
violinist. We found him tonight totally drunk on the bow of the ship. He confirmed that it's his gun, but he claims that it was stolen from him.
Fingerprints?
Nothing. But it's worth mentioning that the clip was missing 2 bullets.
And it's definitely the murder weapon.
The ballistic tests are incomplete. Actually, I've been waiting far too long for the bullet recovered from the corpse. Pay the good doctor a visit, Zellner, and see that he does his job.
Okay.
Do you believe the violinist?
He'll be the first person I question. He claims he can't remember anything from the last few hours. Says he drank a bottle of
Schnapps!
schnapps.
He
was
drank
on
some
the train
schnapps.
and he doesn't have an alibi. His drunkenness
I dropped frames so many
could be a
times.
smokescreen.
Gosh darn it, true.
He fits the profile. He travels a lot, has access to high society.
I wouldn't expect him to
Could
be
be
a Raven.
interesting.
He's too nervous.
You think that the jewel thief is the murderer?
Our friend would have needed another key to open the safe and steal the second eye.
Question,
One
where
the
was her
Baroness
butler,
was
though?
At least, that's what we imply.
What do you mean?
The Baroness was famous for her forgetfulness. I convinced her to give me the third key. It seems safer for the eye.
The thief searches the Baroness's cabin
Waka
looking
waka.
for the third key.
She returns from the saloon earlier than
Yeah,
expected.
why would you choose someone that
Surprises
unreliable to
And he can't
hold the
allow
key?
her to identify him.
He imprisons her until the coast is clear and then shoots her.
And thus, the thief becomes a murderer.
But still doesn't have all the keys.
Do you really think that the Raven is behind all this?
He wrote the letter that was on the safe in the train. Without the letter, we wouldn't have opened the safe and the bomb wouldn't have exploded.
But it doesn't seem like him, does it? The Raven was famous in part because he never hurt anyone, much less killed anyone, during a burglary.
It's his handwriting, and he called me Nico. No one else does that. I chased that man across Europe for years. It is him. It has
It could be someone else, my dude.
But the evidence...
enough.
Are you sure that there's no bomb inside this time?
Professor Lucien locked it in front of an audience, and it will be opened for the first time in Cairo.
Let's hope so.
It would take hours to crack it, and you'd need heavy machinery.
Or the keys.
Or the 3 keys, that's right.
And this chloral hydrate?
Is a tranquilizer. Can be dissolved in alcohol. The effect begins in minutes and lasts for hours. Who gave you the glass of champagne?
I believe it was Captain de Conti.
If believing were enough for us, we'd have become priests, Constable. Be a policeman and find out for sure.
Well,
Understood.
thank you,
I'll be on my way.
boss.
I want to find out who gave me the drugged champagne.
I'll have to stop
Good
by
idea.
the
And
doctor.
get the bullet from Dr. Gebhardt.
Of course. Inspector Legrand, are you okay? Maybe you should take a break.
I can sleep once I've caught the Raven. Goodbye, Constable.
Just lock your door. Go to sleep.
Be seeing you.
He's such a douche. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. That's why Zellner is the
Legrand
protagonist.
is risking not just his career, but his health as well on his hunt for the Raven. He's working like a demon.
That's what you call obsession.
Maybe that's why he caught the Raven and no one else.
Okay, and then we gotta figure out where the captain is. But do you guys like this game? I'm enjoying this game.
Come in.
Wow, this is high
Hello,
tech.
Dr. Gebhardt.
And there's the next one.
Excuse me?
You want something else from me, don't you?
I'm afraid I do.
What a first day at work. Well,
Have you already removed the bullet?
did Legrand send you? What is that
I don't know
Frenchman's
what the
problem?
problem is, but
I
the point
already
is,
told
retrieve
you.
the bullet.
I will get in touch as soon as I have it. That is also what I told the constable, who he kept sending all night long. Once I finally got rid of Legrand
Right, it's
himself.
very interesting. There's
Did
a
he
lot
look
of
over your shoulder?
action.
He probably wanted to take the scalpel from my hand and hack away himself.
And you
But
actually
this
don't
is
have
my
to talk to
secret,
the characters about
and I will
everything.
not
I'm
let
just doing it because
amateurs
that's what a good
interfere
detective
with my
does.
work.
That's understandable.
There's some optional
How much
things to
longer
do.
will it
Like,
take?
I have not retrieved this woman's purse.
I have just finished. Send my regards to His Majesty.
Thanks. What's the result of your examination of the victim?
She is dead.
I didn't make
Well,
you work all night
wow.
long, Dr. Gebhardt.
She was shot. Point-blank shot. Probably with a pistol. It seems like she was lying in bed. The shot struck her heart. She died immediately.
One shot?
More were unnecessary. And we only heard one shot, no?
And there's just one entrance wound.
Just one.
I am told that I was drugged.
That's how it seems.
What can you tell me about it?
Me? Why should that be?
You're a
my business?
freaking doctor!
Haven't you analyzed the glass?
No, I haven't. The inspector said he's the better chemist. I let him do it. That way I could at least concentrate
The
on
result
the body.
is that she's dead. She is already dead.
Do you think the Baroness might have been drugged? She was very tired and unsteady when Legrand and I saw her.
Yeah, I heard about that. I must have just missed her in the saloon.
Aww.
And without
Poor
having
Joni.
seen her myself, it is hard to make a diagnosis.
Of course. Can you say something about her general health?
She was quite overweight, and the butler said that she suffered from diabetes.
Dang. She had
Despite
diabetes
that,
and she hasn't
hadn't
visited a
for
doctor?
several years.
Wow.
Doesn't sound good.
Happens more frequently than you might suppose. Some people are scared of doctors.
Well, it's hard to find a good
and
doctor that
pay
knows what they're
with an
doing.
early death. It is possible that the Baroness wouldn't have lived much longer anyway.
Do you know whose glass I drank from?
What do you mean?
Captain de Conti handed me a glass of champagne. But where did he get it?
I don't know. Did you ask him?
I'm just asking because you were also in the saloon when the champagne was served.
Yes, but I only entered the saloon a few seconds before you did. I didn't manage to get a drink myself.
Which, in retrospect, is lucky.
Ah, you're right about that.
I think that's it for now.
No. That is it for now, then, and later. I'm going to lie down for a few hours. Can you tell that to your boss?
But
Dang, he basically just shoved me out. He shoved me out.
could I
was like,
at
I'm
least
done.
have the key?
Absolutely not.
But if we have to examine the victim again,
Then the esteemed inspector knows where to find me. In my cabin. In bed.
What
Good
kind of
night,
doctor are
Constable
you?
Zellner.
Come in.
Right? I think I already told you guys about the doctor who, was advising my grandmother to drink basically a gallon of water per day.
Constable.
about the bullet. Here it is.
Excellent. Give it to me. As I suspected, a 7.65 Parabellum Luger.
Don't you want to examine it in more detail?
When I have time. For now, we can assume that we have the murder weapon. There can't be too many antique
Dude, you have
Luger
20.
pistols on board.
May I take a look at the Baroness's cabin?
We already searched it thoroughly.
Wow.
Sure. But what about now, by daylight?
Wow, Joni, that's
Yes,
horrible.
Yes, fine, it can't hurt. Here,
Well-
take this with you.
Let's see.
Thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything important.
But only then.
Well,
please.
definitely
I'm
for
very
me,
busy.
I'm gonna be
Of
streaming on
course.
Tuesdays, now, not Wednesdays. Because my Wednesdays, like my last class on Wednesday ends at 5:45. So it's like, not much point. So it's best for me to do Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. And then, let's see. So Tuesday, normally I have class 2:30 to 3:30, 3:45. So I would be streaming at 4 o'clock to whenever I want to get done, because I can actually stream all the way to 12:30. I just haven't done it yet because school. Friday, I'm out at 3:20, so I guess 4 o'clock on for Friday. I don't want to tell you the answer because you'll cry.
About the tranquilizer.
Do you know how
But
you wound up with the
you
glass?
really only missed
Not
the
yet.
Then you should stop wasting my time and get
and then
back
there
to
were
work.
no then there were none. You missed the when I was doing the Agatha Christie games, I think.
About the tranquilizer.
Do you know how you wound up with the glass?
Not yet.
Then you should stop wasting my time and get back to work.
Well,
I'll
screw
be in touch
you.
if I uncover more clues.
Very well.
Legrand is such a jerk. You did miss the beginning of this game though, and I have actually gotten into fair progress. I wonder if there's a way to program it so then that way it doesn't go into your spam.
These little sachets contain the evidence we've collected.
So now I gotta figure out where the captain is. I like Zellner. He's an interesting man. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting more involved when I can. I'm gonna be getting more involved with mystery and adventure games because they just seem more fun. Okay.
An antique wooden globe. If Galileo hadn't asserted himself back then, this would be a flat disc now.
Galileo.
The globe nicely shows that 4/5 of the Earth's surface is covered
You
by
know what
water.
would be a good place
Looking
to hide
out the
something?
window,
In a
I'd call
globe.
that an understatement.
Who's gonna look in a globe? But yeah, there must be a way to turn it so that way it's no longer considered spam. Well, we found the captain. That was easy.
The alcoholic drinks and everything that goes with them is top-notch on this ship.
So you're just plain not receiving them. That's interesting. See you, Shrume.
Captain DeConti is sitting at the bar again. He gave me the glass of champagne last night. Hello, Captain DeConti.
Hey,
Aww.
Constable Zella. You're back on your feet again.
What
Glad to
happened, Gloria? What did Walmart do to you?
Did everyone drink from the same
It's
bottle
okay
of
to hate
champagne
Walmart.
last night?
What did Walmart
There
do to
was
you,
more than
Gloria?
one bottle,
Tell me
if
the
that's what
truth.
you mean. There were quite a
Hello?
few guests,
You're
and
gonna be
they
mad at me,
lasted
Gloria.
several hours.
The last bottle of champagne.
I'm ending
the
the
one
stream in
Baroness
15
drank
minutes.
from. Did anyone else drink from it?
Certainly.
We have reason to believe that the champagne was drugged.
I would stream longer, but I have to watch Vertigo.
But wouldn't that have
And then
made
write a
everyone
response about it
drowsy?
and read.
Not if it was only
School
the
gets me
Baroness's
busy.
glass that was
It
drugged.
gets me busy.
See, that's possible. On a night like that, many glasses.
Then I gotta
are
get ready for
filled
my
and
mom, who's gonna be coming
there are
this
several
weekend.
stools, many guests. No one keeps track of every glass and every bottle.
A few drops in a glass?
Yes, It's certainly possible.
I was
The glass
drugged,
you
my
handed me
friend.
last night.
Oh,
Where did
Gloria,
you
you
get it?
missed a fantastic train
I
ride.
understand. You think your
It
glass
went
was poisoned
crazy.
as well?
There was an
Did you pour it
explosion.
yourself?
I had to stop the
No.
train, and it was
I
on
saw that
fire.
you weren't doing so well, and
Also,
wanted
this
to
poor
rescue
dude
the situation.
got knocked out Nancy
I
Drew
took the
style.
first available glass and I give it to you.
Was it on the table?
No, I
Let's
had
not
it
even
to
talk
you.
about the pharmacy. Let's
You
talk
were
about the
at
lines. There's never enough people in the lines. Like, how many darn aisles do they have? And, like, there's always only a few that are actually
so that
open.
he could examine you. I took it from him.
But I don't go to Walmart, I go to
And
Meijer.
gave it to me.
Meijer's closer.
I'd like to apologize for that, but you look so worse for the wear, and I just wanted to comfort
I
you.
kind of like how Meijer
I
is set
didn't
up.
think of looking for a new glass for you.
So the doctor had the drugged glass in his hand. What was your experience of last night?
Ted,
But I'm not kidding. Poor Zellner was like, okay, there's this suspicious
everyone was
trunk
excited about having a pleasant drink
in
under
the
stars.
cargo hold.
And then this.
Goes down there
You're in
by
the
himself,
saloon
of course,
all
but
night
to
long.
be fair,
As
nobody
the
else was going to
captain,
go
I
down
had
with
to care
him.
for my passengers. After you and
Yes,
the
I
others
do
crashed out,
love
I
self-checkout
tried to
lines.
maintain a festive atmosphere.
Makes it so much easier.
But when the alarm
faster.
goes off, I lose the debater.
Is it possible to find out where the alarm was set off?
I'm afraid not. There are alarms all over the ship.
I
Crap.
saw that they're sealed. Can't we just check
Also, a
whether
woman
the
died.
seal is broken?
I'm
This is
afraid
actually a very
they're gonna be
fascinating
missing
game.
on a
I
lot
can
of
see why people like
alarms.
it.
You know, this is an old ship, and over the years,
So, you're saying that the alarms haven't been regularly maintained?
I'll inform the crew immediately, of course.
Of course.
What is with us being on old stuff?
How was the Baroness?
She really surprised me. After she was so unapproachable at the reception and didn't show her face for the entire afternoon, I was afraid
And
she was one of the
bourgeoisie.
bourgeoisie and bourgeoisie. But then she arrived in the early evening in the best of moods. Already had a few, if you know what I mean.
Did she say anything to you?
She asked me where Legrand's
I don't know if I
cabin
feel
was.
how I feel about the
I
graphics
told
of the
her,
characters,
then
but the
invited her to
graphics
come for
of like
drinks
everything
in
else
the
is
evening.
beautiful.
I said it would be great fun. The whole ship will be there, and you don't want to miss that, I told her.
And then?
She seemed to like the idea. She
But
smiled.
I still love Nancy Drew more than this
and
one.
then left again for a few minutes. Then she came back and seemed very happy. We drank a toast to life.
But at some point she didn't feel well anymore?
She overdid it a bit. She suddenly started to swoon and almost spilled her drink. I asked her if she wanted to rest for a moment in her cabin. At first, she didn't want to. She definitely wanted to stay in the saloon. But then she realized that she really did need to lie down. We left together. You know the rest of the story.
What can you tell me about the passengers?
Oh, not that much, I'm afraid. I wanted to
Okay,
take
which
you
one's
to
better,
the
guys?
property at the reception.
The train
Good
or the
morning,
ship? And this is actually the
ladies.
first time I
just
solved a
shook
mystery on a
hands
ship.
with them as they boarded
I'm
the
solving
ship.
a mystery on a ship,
There
you
are a few
guys.
regulars
Actually, no,
on
it's not the first
board,
time.
And after dinner,
Actually,
I
it is
had a
the first time.
conversation with Mr. Kreutz,
Because we never went out
the
onto
talented
sea.
violinist,
Remember
and
that
Lady
dossier that never came out?
But you
The one
already
with
know
Nancy
them
going to
from
be
the
on
train.
a
It
cruise ship.
seems like there aren't that many
So this
passengers
is the first
on
time
board.
that I'm solving on an
These
actual
bloody
ship.
airplanes are making our lives
Yay!
miserable.
Now we just need an airplane, and this is all. We have the trifecta.
Prefer to jam
Solving
themselves
just
into
trying to
a
solve a
narrow
mystery on a
metal
train,
coffin
a ship,
instead of
and an
enjoying
airplane.
the
There's
fresh
something
sea
romantic
air
about
on the
solving
ship.
solving
It's
a
all about
mystery
saving
on
time.
those. Just the
It shouldn't
it just
be
it
about how
warms
much
your
time
soul, you
it
know.
takes to get from A to B, but about how you spend that time. What you experience on the
It's a nice
journey.
ship, though.
That's what it's about.
I like this
I'll get
boulder.
back to my
It's a
investigations
nice
now.
boulder.
Ciao, Constable.
Lady Westmacott seems to be an early bird. But maybe that's just because of all the excitement. I saw a twinkle in her eye on the train. She's eager to be part of a real
Well, that's because there's been a
story.
real murder. She specializes in murder. Whoa, what was that, Zellner?
Lady Westmacott. Already on your... Oh.
Constable, don't you think before you speak?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's an idiom, my
No
dude.
time for chit-chat. What have you found out?
We're still working on the case. Actually, I have a couple of questions for you.
Please, go ahead.
Have you noticed anything related to the murder?
Unfortunately not. I was already in my cabin and missed all the commotion. Damn
Woman,
you,
you're gonna get yourself killed.
You're telling me.
Oh, you're still young. At my age, you have to expect that you won't experience much anymore. And although I've written about murder so many times, I've never actually witnessed one. How
exciting it wouldn't be the words I would
doubt
use, lady.
everyone is so relaxed in such a situation.
Heartless is the word you're searching for, right, Constable? I certainly didn't want the Baroness to be murdered, but if I can't undo it,
wow.
I might as well enjoy it.
Wow.
What did you think of our adventure on the train? An extraordinary story, isn't it?
I'm glad that you were able to prove yourself, Mr. Zellner.
Hopefully not for the last time.
I find everyone suspicious on this train, except for Maddie, the precocious child. By the way, speaking of Maddie, where the heck is he?
I can't bear to think about something happening to him.
It all worked out in the end.
I think the new Raven is capable of anything.
Legrand believes there is no new Raven. He thinks that the old one has returned.
He said that.
Do you think it's possible? Everyone thinks he's dead.
As a dramatist, the return of the Raven would certainly be delightful. A legend comes back from the grave for one last job. It's quite romantic. At the same time, though, I'd be disappointed.
Why is that?
I followed the Raven's career closely. There weren't many burglars with such character and charm. His burglaries were clever and entertaining, but he was sloppy in London. He almost got caught. And I'll never forgive him for the affair on the train. No, I would much rather that the Raven stayed dead and had nothing to do
me
with
too,
the burglary.
because it doesn't
or
make
the murder.
sense.
What do you think? Who is our suspect?
Everyone. Or almost everyone. Everyone on board is physically capable of shooting someone. But who has the dark desire to take the life of a defenseless person?
One cannot read minds.
And one should not try. You have to collect evidence, traces, clues. That's what will lead us to the killer. It won't be like a bad crime novel, in which they introduce a new character shortly before the end who, surprise, surprise,
Ha!
is also the murderer.
Ha!
Murderers.
Ha! That's hilarious.
They're
That is
nervous
so
or
making fun
unnaturally
of
relaxed.
Sherlock
They have to
Holmes,
adjust constantly.
Agatha
And
Christie,
because of that, they make
the
mistakes.
Poirot
This is your
series.
chance, Constable. If you find the mistake, you'll find your murderer.
What do you think?
Oh,
of
that's
Inspector
hilarious.
Legrand?
This one is like
He seems to be as
revealing a
skilled as
new
everyone
character.
says. Intelligent.
It's bad form, you know.
I had a chat
Like,
with him yesterday.
yes,
and
I
he
agree.
impressed Me, but
Don't introduce a new
something
character
haunted
that's
in his
actually
eyes.
important and integral
I
to the
don't think
story.
he ever really stopped hunting the Raven.
catching the Raven made him famous. What if he actually shot the wrong person? Unjustified fame bothers people, the good ones at least.
And you think he's one of the good ones?
Anyone who tries so hard to tear down his own memorial must be honorable. Or insane.
I go with insane.
I have to be going, Lady Westmacott.
I mean, I understand.
informed,
Like,
Constable Zellner?
I would feel guilt
Of course.
killing the wrong person. But, I would feel bad for killing the wrong person. And then I would definitely want to make sure. But this guy doesn't even know if he killed the right person or not. He's just assuming. And that's what makes me suspicious about him. Because it's like, is this dude, like, just so obsessed that everything is not, like, everything that could be a clue is passing him by? Or is he someone to watch out for?
These things made quite a racket last
But
night.
yeah.
I couldn't hear myself
Hopefully
think.
the stream loads up soon enough for you, Gloria, because you will want to check this out. Everything that happened beforehand. It was very action-packed. It was very interesting. Next time I will be streaming
really
at my
like
regular
to
time.
lie in
It's
the
just
sun
that
and take a nap, but I don't have time
I
for
skipped
that at the
class and I
moment.
was like, I have things to do, so I'm going to make sure the stream is a little earlier. Is there anything else?
No, Jakob. Business before pleasure.
You call yourself by your middle name? Interesting. Because his first name is Anton. Can't go that way. Guess we can go this way then. I love that we're exploring a cruise liner! Gosh, I needed this. How many cases have I sold on a ship? Only this one. Oh. Rude, right? But don't worry, I'll be streaming Friday.
I suppose the life jackets are stowed there, close to the railing, close at hand in case of emergency.
So I'm not gonna be done. We still have one full chapter left. We get to explore a gosh darn ship! Yay! Oh yeah, I want to bring back this game, like, real soon. I actually enjoyed it. Like, this is
We
one
were
of the...
here yesterday when we heard the shot, and it was also here.
Because as
when
much as I
Legrand
do
put
enjoy
us
Frambo
away.
and Kathy Rain, they are bizarre. They are very bizarre.
The grate must be part of the ship's ventilation
It's just
system.
nice to be able to
Nothing
solve
out of the ordinary.
a nice wholesome mystery. Take the axe.
Why is there an axe hanging here? I suppose it's for chopping
Yeah, but it's
through
kind of a
ropes in the
little... Oh
event
no,
that the
it's right here.
lifeboats
This is the
can't be
boat.
lowered.
Okay.
Or they use it to enforce who's allowed on the boat and who's not.
No, they'd use a gun for that. I don't know what you're thinking about, my dude. Okay, so let's save the game. Save the game. There. Okay. It's already saved. So, this has been and we're like, and keep in mind, let's go back. We are on, ooh, let me look at the extras. We have some artwork that we don't have yet. It's not released. Got some extras. I got some things in the soundtrack. Oh my gosh. So we could actually change the soundtrack, my dudes. That's amazing! Credits? Skip. 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 What did I do? No! Skip! Okay. 3D model. Ooh. Skip. So there's some pretty cool stuff here, and we can. I love that I like opened some of these. So that's pretty cool. So, we still have to finish this second chapter, and then once we do that, we will have the final chapter, which makes me sad because it makes me wish that the game was actually longer. Like that there was actually like at least 2 more chapters. At least 2 more, but I can see why people enjoy The Raven. It's a very, very interesting game. It's very Nancy Drew like. For those of us who like Nancy Drew. Not completely though. Not completely. Like, we don't have to do too many puzzles. I don't think we have to do puzzles at all. It's kind of more like you have to do that whole, you have to do this to get this, so you can do that, so then you can finally get to your objective. It does that, but it's like, it's very, I enjoy it. So, but yes, so Joni, keep an eye on my, like, note this down, keep an eye for my stream on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, I'm sorry, Gloria, that you didn't get to see much, but, you'll be here on Friday, and we will have a longer stream on Friday since, I will not have to do anything Saturday. That's a lie. I'm gonna have to probably read. But, I'll read on Saturday. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!